think that what's really exciting about the African continent in general is the makeup of the demography, with 70% of the population being below 30 years old right now. And when you compare that and you contrast that to the aging population in Western economies, there's a real arbitrage opportunity, and that really translates with what you can see in terms of opportunity in the education technology space. I love everything that has to do with placement. So every year you have 10 million youth coming into the job market for 3 million formal jobs. While on the other side of the ocean, we're having trouble finding qualified people for a lot of tech positions. So being able to create education facilities to match those opportunities with the talent that exists on the continent is super exciting. Scalability has been a challenge, especially in very traditional fields. But I think that by understanding what are the specific infrastructure challenges here and by being more innovative around them, by creating partnerships with telcos, you have a few governments that are also very forward-thinking. For example, when you think about the Rwandan government, right? There's different ways. I think that, what I've seen, for example, in early education has been to bring quality curriculum through very basic phones, using USSD, and that has worked very well. When we're thinking about later stage education, because there is limitation from an infrastructure perspective, using internet and having providers that are coming from the US that have independent satellites also have helped increasing the reach. So there's different ways where we are able to scale EdTech products. It's still a problem, but I think that players on the ground right now are finding solutions. When I think about the opportunities in the venture capital space for the African continent right now, I have to bring it back to demographic. I have to bring back with the fact that there's so many youth right now on the continent. And just that will be the backbone of growth and productivity. So by being able to invest in this pool of talent that wants to solve for problems that have been there forever and being there early, there's really this big opportunity to make a lot of money, to be honest. And there's also a growing middle class. In terms of the challenges from venture capital, the continent is so big. So you have to have a real understanding of each market you're getting into. It's not as if you could decide to come into Africa with no partnership, no understanding. So really have this in-depth understanding is important. I think I'd like investors to be more commercially motivated when they are investing on the continent. Because when we're talking about wealth creation, it's really trusting the people creating value to know how to better use that funding. Right now, you have a lot of other types of motivations to invest on the continent from an external perspective, but you want to be able to empower people who are creating those solutions to actually use the funding in the best way possible for their own community. So that's what we're doing at BKR. We're investing in the best Black-led technology founders, and we really trust them to be able to create real solutions that are needed for their own markets.